In Dead by Daylight's newest update, the twins were buffed, making them potentially the strongest killer we have ever seen in the game. After getting a hit, the survivors are unable to stun or kick Victor in any way, as he is invincible for a few seconds. This leads to extremely quick chases around 20 seconds or less, with barely any counterplay on the survivor side. I wanted to put this to the test at the highest level, so I invited one of the best killer players in the world, Knightlight, to play against Team Elysium to see how the games would go. In the first game, the twins played extremely well using a new add-on, Weighty Rattle, which keeps every survivor that is hit by Victor injured for 60 seconds, as they are broken and completely unable to heal. This led to all survivors being injured, unable to kick Victor without a miss from Knightlight, which allowed our killer to 4-man slug with just 3 gens being completed. In the second game, Elysium used a survivor with no mither, which worked out much better for them. It's interesting, okay? First hit straight away onto Pedro. It looks like Knightlight is employing the tactic of making everybody injured. However, can't do that to V1, our no-mither player. Looking around main, gonna go for the down on the pallet, putting Victor onto him as well. So we'll switch to V1. What's happening here? Picking himself up with no mither. Knightlight is in chase with Zeno. Zeno dropping the rock pallet. Knightlight chasing it. M1. Vault from Zeno. That should be a hit. Hit onto Zeno, nice and early. Zeno's gonna pre-run. Knightlight still V1 with the Victor. Nice pathing from Zeno. Going all the way around. Vault from Zeno. Victor coming out, instantly dying on pallet, even plot twisting on the pallet. Okay, Knightlight now, I imagine. Is this gonna be a background player? Switches into Victor, knows what's happening. We have 2 survivors lurking. A kick, a miss from Knightlight. Kick from V1. Zeno's still underneath the pallet. Okay, they have a strategy. There's a strategy implemented. The pickup. I think that's sprint burst. That's a pallet save. So no downs from Knightlight. Goes for the blind, gets it. Back into Victor, so what's the plan now? The pallet is gone. I assume this will be Knightlight's first hook of the game. Plot twisting again? Okay, I respect it. Crawling around Victor to waste a little bit of time. V1 leaving early. The no-mither player. The reset is coming through. Knightlight in on Victor, pathing around the water tower. Does find the 2 survivors resetting. One goes locker instantly. The other one is going straight to the pallet, straight over. Is that going to be a kick? It is not. The whiff again from Knightlight and switching back into Charlotte. Switching straight back to Victor. That timing doing him a world of wonder. Still camping the hill. It looks like Knightlight's pretty happy to play the 4-gen on this side of the map, which makes sense with Suffo Pit. Moving Victor forward, that's going to be a save before Zeno hits stage 2. Okay, the 2 survivors running. Zeno with the OTR. But Knightlight will be well aware of that. Gets straight ahead of him. The body block coming in. It's not going to do much, though. They can't kick him. Yep, the down. Still can't kick. Oh, actually, removing Victor off of the slug is interesting. Zeno's lurking with background player. Knightlight is well aware. Working the gens in the background. Only 1 stage for Knightlight so far. You can definitely see the strategy that Elysium plus Zaka have employed. This should be a relatively quick down. Double vaults, triple vaults. Gets over the window just about. And I imagine this will be, yeah, going for the pickup on the vault. Okay, so the survivor that's not underneath the pallet makes sense. Typical build employed by Knightlight as well. Pain Res, Grim, Corrupt, and Pop. 2 whole gens have been completed, which is pretty impressive. For Knightlight, he's going after V1, the no-mither player. Downing him. He should know that there's no one on this side of the map, and he's free to hook that, but isn't going for it. Okay, Knightlight moving to the bottom side of the map. Okay, here's someone working on the gen, but he knows someone's going for save. Coming back towards it. I think no, not going for the pickup. V1 still on the floor. Instantly going for the person that saved in Zeno. V1 getting back on his gen. Zeno in chase. Both the survivors together, actually. Not too sure what's happening, if Knightlight has switched to someone else or if he's not found anyone. Okay, finds where the reset is happening on the pallet. Okay, Survivor on the pallet, and I think we're going to see more of the same again in the background player pallet, and Knightlight absolutely knows it. He knows this gen is being worked. It looks like he's playing for a 4K1 at this point, just holding to trying to hold these gens on the top side. Playing M1 with V1 here. Just got that cooldown on Victor is going to take a little bit longer. No chase music. I don't know if that's chase bug. I would assume not. I'd assume that's just a spectator bug. Goes into Victor, and this should be the easiest down of all time. It looks like it. Knightlight instantly going for the pickup. No one's close enough, which is surprising. Zeno did go for it with the background player, but didn't quite make it. A Pain Res and a Grim Embrace off the board for Knightlight. The Survivor's already succeeding my expectations considerably. Yeah, straight into the locker, no surprise. Locker in shack as well. Knightlight gives up on it. He does know he can switch back instantly, but both Survivors know that as well. Not gonna catch them off guard, putting Victor in a hard spot to hit. So what he's basically doing is holding them hostage in these lockers. Neither of them can go too far from the locker because of the switch into Victor. We've got one on hook, so there is one Survivor that is potentially getting gem progress right now. And the hit onto Zeno, really well done. Zaka coming in for the save on hook. Pedro gonna go for the pickup straight away. Knightlight chasing off of hook. Wants to go for Zaka, but the perfect body blocks from V1. Zaka looping extremely well. He's about to get Victor back, so that should be one of them on the floor. Interesting. Switches back. Misses the pounce. They're not going to get the kick, though. Firecracker deployed by V1. V1 down on the floor once again, our no mither player. 2 gens remaining. 1 gen left. It looks like the Survivors are actually going to get outs, which is incredibly well played. A little bit of bug chase music. Goes straight to the reset, straight into the lockers. He's now going to try and hold them in the lockers by just threatening Victor, but the Survivors are going to be aggressive and try and get that finished heal. Knightlight now checking around main, but I think Zaka, when we last saw him, was in the middle of the edge map. Sorry, in the middle on the edge map. And now it looks like Pedro is coming for save very aggressively on V1. Knightlight trying to body block away. Yeah, I don't think he's going to get it in time. This will be a trade. Will we see the... No, not using Victor, going straight for the hook once more. Let's see what our Survivors are doing. V1 is W King's the other side of the map. Zeno and Zaka healing in main. Don't think Knightlight has any idea that they're there. Oh, maybe he does. Yeah, straight to them. Straight into the locker. Zeno trying to abuse the elevation in main, but doesn't quite work. And now we're going to see another save. Will it come in time? It won't. And I believe this now forecasts a 4K1 for Knightlight. In chase with Zeno, that's the down. And now V1 has a hope and a dream. Yeah, just sat on that generator on the other side of the map. What a comeback from Knightlight, actually. I fully expected to see outs there at one point. But incredibly well played by our Survivors. I think most people before this game started would have predicted maybe a 4K3 or a 4K2. The deli from Zaka. And the unhook. We might have rescued this game. We might get another gen off the board. One Survivor up, going to pick up Zeno. Does that exactly. The broken add-on absolutely putting in work, by the way. Just keeping all 4 Survivors injured constantly. Gonna go for a swing, gets the hit. 2 Survivors down, 1 up on the same side as Knightlight. However, never mind. Grim Embrace is very much a thing. Forgot about that. And I believe that's spectator bug, so I'm just gonna switch. Yep, picking up the other Survivor, down them on the pallet. I don't know if they were already downed or not. Going to another hook. Pedro almost looking like he's gonna take a hit. All of the pain reses, all of the Grim Embraces off the board. And now every single Survivor in the match is Death Hook. Okay, over to the gen in the middle of the map. Gonna kick it with Pop. He knew that was the one they were working on. So we've got a little bit of a split up 3 gen from Knightlight, but definitely not the worst in the world. Zeno Playing aggressive with the off the record, still going down in the middle of the map. I would expect to see a hook from Knightlight here. That's exactly what he's going for. Let's have a look on our other survivors. V1 running around the middle. Zaka and Pedro doubling the gen. V1 even running over just to get the last gen off the board. And it looks like that's what's going to happen. They triple it out. They get it down onto Pedro. Every survivor is death hook, by the way. Knightlight into the Victor once more. Whiffing on the edge map. The no dodge employed from V1. Just running in a straight line. One survivor on the floor. One in chase with Knightlight. He needs this chase to be quick. If he wants that gate not to be popped. Although, Pedro up off of the floor. So you would expect both survivors to be on top side right now. Yep, straight into locker. Just wasting as much time as possible. Whiffs on the locker. That's a kick. My thoughts exactly, Knightlight. My thoughts exactly. A little bit buggy, this PTB. But I think they don't have any progress on either of the gates, right? Zaka on a Z wall. Do they have progress on the other gate? I don't think they do. Well, they do, but not enough. This still could very much be a 4K from Knightlight with the one gen left. Sorry. With the all gens completed. In fact, it very much should be at this point. Entertain one survivor with Victor, chase the other one with Charlotte when you get the opportunity. Zaka up off of the ground once more, but they're trapped on the edge map. Yep, that's a down, and it should just be chase with Pedro, making this a 4K 0. Breaking Shack pallet. Okay, going into Victor, chasing Pedro. He's gonna force locker, surely. Does. V1 up with no mither. However, Pedro is gonna be in that locker for a little while. So Knightlight definitely can get a 4K 0 here. Downs V1 once more. Doesn't have enough time to hook him. Needs to go straight into Victor to get that down again. Yeah, Zaka up once more, so he knows exactly where they are. Here's some round water tower, both in lockers. The survivors really working together to try and force an out here. Just trying to keep Knightlight stuck in a place where he doesn't want to be. That's a down onto Pedro. However, that will remove Victor for 20 seconds. And now maybe an opportunity to split a gate. In chase with Zaka, gonna get the hit. And does V1 get the gate in time? We hear the alarm. V1 gets out. Oh, did I speak too soon? No, V1 just barely gets out. And that's a 3K 11 stage.